Right, so the moment that you all have been waiting for, we are going to talk about
Uh,
Fast X. So we went and saw this on Sunday, and we all have some varying opinions on this movie. I will be honest, I really enjoyed the movie, but for my review, I did try to be as objective as possible. So I will bring you my objective review. I think we're going to do probably a spoiled review for this one. We're probably going to talk about some things specifically. So if you haven't seen the movie and you still want to see it, definitely
well,
like,
hold up. Could we like keep the spoilers to the end,
yeah, sure,
like
we
to
can
the
do that.
last like few minutes? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we are going to start off. Let me get my letter grades ready. Give me 2 seconds here. All right, we're gonna start off with the plot. I think Nick's probably gonna think this is a little too high, but I give the plot a C plus. It's basically your typical. It's your typical run of the mill revenge plot. The plot is essentially detailed out in the trailer. If you've seen the trailer for the movie, you understand the plot. Like, there's really nothing else to it. I honestly would have given the plot a B minus, but I gave it a C plus because after reflecting, I didn't like how they basically split the cast up into like four different like group slash story arcs, and then they constantly switch back and forth between the four. It felt more like a TV show. Like, it reminds me of like Walking Dead and how annoying that was when they were like, we're going to focus on this group of people, and then the next episode we're going to focus on this. Like, that's what it felt like constantly throughout the movie. So I didn't really like that, which is why I gave it a lower grade. But I know you guys probably think it's way worse than a C plus. But I thought it was an average plot. Like, there wasn't anything special about it, but it wasn't like a terrible plot. Like, I feel like it progressed the movie along the way it needed to. So overall, I gave it a C plus. Nick, Ryan, your thoughts?
I'm gonna give it
Mm.
a D plus. I'm gonna
Okay,
give it
all
a
right,
D plus.
okay.
Because at the end of the day, when I looked at the trailer, I was like, all right, I'm not interested, but I'm gonna go look at it because I know we're gonna go look at it. And they put a big emphasis on one fucking part. And of course, in my head, that part was only like 10 minutes. Like, when you look at it, the part was 10 minutes max. And I'll talk about it at the end when we do the spoiler review, but I, I just think it was stupid. I thought it was stupid. I don't know. I just
Here's
didn't.
here's how I here's how I imagine the plot of this movie being written. It's just two like 8-year-olds with like matchbox cars in the sandbox, just going like, and then this guy was like, and then this guy was like, oh no, I'm back from the dead, and they're just like. It literally just reminded me of like two little boys in the sandbox, just like making shit up as they went along, and all of a sudden people have powers and technology that never existed before, and just
I it's interesting you mentioned that because I will put a little caveat. So, Justin Lin has directed the majority of the Fast and Furious movies. He was
Mm,
actually the director of this movie, and then 2 weeks into filming, he quit. So they had to bring in a new director who basically did like rewrites of the script as he was actually like as they were actually filming the movie. So that probably contributed to some of it. Again, I'm not going to place total blame on that and say like it would have been an amazing movie had that not happened. But we have other examples where a director leaves the project halfway through or whatever the case may be, and then it just completely like makes it even worse. So, I definitely think that contributed to it a little bit. But this is gonna be my question, Nick. Like, what else do you expect from a Fast and Furious movie? Um,
yeah. Look, here I thought I was like I go into these movies with a suspension of disbelief. I
yep.
go into a lot of movies like that and I can enjoy them. There is only so much that I can suspend. Dude, it's the shit that happened in the first like 15 minutes of
Yeah,
this
it was
movie.
wild. It was
I
wild. It was
couldn't
a
even
wild ride.
understand. There are more plot holes than the fucking people and playing red light, green light in Squid Game. Don't even get me started on that. But okay, y'all wanted my notes. Y'all wanted my notes. I kind of hyped this up. I overhyped it on purpose because I went into this movie saying I'm gonna make notes. This is gonna be funny. Here's the one note that I walked out of that movie with. At what point would it have been better to just let the bomb blow up in Italy? At what point would it have caused less damage to that city than just letting it blow up? Because that bomb roll. Also, I haven't been to Italy. E. Connor was just in Italy. Is the entire country fucking downhill? Because the hill that bomb rolled down was longer than the goddamn staircase at
endless.
the end of John Wick 4, bro. I was like, it's never ending. It never ends.
Yeah, I mean, I can. Well, Ludacris and his infinite wisdom as a hacker that they just introduced in like Fast Five. Before that, he was just a street racer. Anyways,
Right.
He told us that it was like a 4 kilowatt ton bomb or whatever. That if it
Neutron
exploded,
bomb. He threw out a bunch of letters. And
he threw out a bunch of shit, bro. And I was just like, what? What are
Hey,
you
bro,
talking
science,
about?
bitch. That's what it was. Fucking science.
That's what I'm saying. You can't take this shit too seriously, bro. Like, I was cracking up at some of this shit. I was just like, this is fucking terrible, but it was awesome. But yes, I understand where you're coming from there. So I get it, man. I get it.
My rant's over for now. For now.
All right. Now we're gonna go over to the acting. Honestly, I think I probably went a little high here. C minus. Honestly, it should be in the D range. Like it was. I wasn't expecting much here, but I got less than what I was expecting.
But goddamn.
It seems like some of the actors have just like, I don't know, taken steps back. Like Ludacris was never this bad in any of the other movies, but just the way he talked, like when he wanted to have like emphasis on something where he was like concerned or scared or upset, there was just like no emotion. Like it was just like everything was the same. That was really bad to me. Jason Momoa, I could probably spend 15 minutes alone talking about how bad of a villain he was, and I mean bad in a bad way, not like bad in a good way. I think he is a good actor in other things. Like I think he plays some other roles very well, but this was not it for him, dog. Like it did not hit well, honestly. And then of course you got Vin Diesel just like grunt whispering the entire movie. So, oh, family. Like I just like it's literally how he sounds the entire movie. Again, when there's emotion that needs to be involved, he doesn't give anything.
You forgot to take away my car. Y'all, this was a legitimate line in the movie. After Vin Diesel saves his son, he goes, "You made one mistake. You forgot to take my car."
Honestly, it was the best line. It was the best line of the movie. Honestly, bro, it was the best line of the movie. Yeah, the acting was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, but again, it's a Fast and Furious movie. I wasn't expecting much, but I will say they gave me less than what I was expecting. I think it would have been better if they would have chosen a villain with some charisma. This is supposed to be your end game. You're basically rounding out these movies. Like, choose somebody that really puts an emphasis on just how like fucking bad they are. I just felt like he was there just to goof off. Like, and your villain shouldn't be the one trying to add like comedy to the movie, and I think they were trying to do that, and it didn't hit right. Like it just wasn't good. The delivery wasn't there. So yeah, overall for me, I said C minus. Honestly, I'm probably gonna change that to like a D plus. Like it should definitely be in the D range for sure.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
acting
Nick?
was ass.
Right.
Yep.
Support actors were straight ass. Just gonna let you know that now. What was it? That was the black dude in the plane or whatnot. That was with
Oh, yeah,
Thad
he was-
Castle. By the
he
way, that
was
was
terrible.
Thad Castle. By the way, Justin.
Yeah, from Reacher, right?
Did you watch No. I thought that was Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State.
I don't know what that is, but anyways.
That ain't
continue.
Thad Castle from Blue Mountain
You
State.
talking about the dude from the agency?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that's
that-
Reacher.
Yeah, it's the guy who plays
That
Reacher.
is. Oh, okay. Yeah. Bet.
Yeah.
Well, that's him. That's him. Even his acting was.
It was
kinda
bad.
Yeah, it stuck
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Brie Larson, bad.
Yeah,
Brie Larson was
horrible,
terrible.
man.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Terrible,
Yeah,
dog.
it was bad.
fucking terrible.
What was her?
Jason
Michelle
Momoa,
Rodriguez
that
did
motherfucker right there.
What'd you call him, Ryan? Did you say Jason
Jason
Mimosa?
Momoa. Jason Momoa.
He's
my
a
bad.
drink. Jason Mimosa. Honestly, a
Hey,
mimosa.
anytime I say
A mimosa
that motherfucking name
probably.
real fast,
A mimosa
mimosa come out.
probably
I don't
could have
know
done
why,
better. A mimosa probably could have acted
it
better
was
than
just
he did.
bad, man.
It was.
It
I
was bad, but
you-
I blame that on the writing for him. I don't think that was him. I think that was
Really?
the writing.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
shouldn't. I
really?
agree with Justin. They shouldn't have written him that way.
yeah, the writing of his character like was just terrible. Like he shouldn't have been like this. I don't know. They tried to make him too. They tried to make him too funny, like too much of a goofball.
Yeah.
Like it just and it didn't work well.
Right.
He
No.
honestly should have been a
Your,
fucking
your
psychopath.
villain shouldn't
Like,
be likable.
Yeah, exactly. And
Was he
honestly,
likable though? Like,
They were
they
trying. That's what
tried
they
to
were
make
trying to
him
do.
likable, but it didn't make
Yeah.
us like him. Like they
Yeah.
were trying to make him likable for sure. Was there anybody in the movie who actually acted well?
John Cena.
John
was
Cena?
good comedy role.
Yes, John Cena.
Okay,
John
so we're
Cena.
all
Never thought I'd see that in my
we're
life.
all in
Yeah,
agreement
John
there.
Cena.
We're all in
Yep.
agreement there. I thought John Cena played his role very well. He was comedic relief, and he absolutely played that very well. So, he was about the
Which
the
would have
only
been enough comedic relief, by the way. That would
Yeah.
have been enough.
Yeah.
But
Him-
Jason
well,
Momoa
I mean,
trying to
yeah, again, not Mimosa, but him, and then of course the interaction between Ludacris and Tyrese is always like funny. I enjoyed like their interactions, but other than that, yeah, like we didn't need like any more comedy than that.
I do too, but even in this movie, it felt a little bit like it felt like my
Overdone?
dad's two old friends like trying to give each other shit. Like it wasn't even really
They are old.
like all that funny. Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
E. Connor's right. Vin Diesel also looked old as fuck. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Also, Jason Statham played his role very well. I mean, he didn't say
Always-
much,
but he always
It's
played
like
his
all
role
5
very well.
minutes.
yeah, exactly. It wasn't much, but he played his role very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He doesn't have to do much. Just look mean, beat some ass, say something snarky, and leave.
Look,
all he has to do.
exactly. Exactly. All right.
Moving
Moving.
afraid of like his
We talk about that weird scene where he's just like wailing on a punching bag, and turns out there's a dude in.
He
Dude, that
beat
was
the
awesome.
shit out
That
that damn
was,
bag.
that was awesome. I fucking loved it. We don't even know why old buddy was in there. I wish they would have told us, but they
Zero
didn't.
context whatsoever.
They left that up. All right. Moving on to the action and the comedy. So this will be the only A that I give it. I give the action an A+. I know I am probably in a boat by myself here. I personally, 8 and 9 for me were very like stale and kind of boring. I was not like impressed. Personally, this movie thoroughly impressed me with some of the action sequences, like some of the ridiculous shit that they pulled off, which we know Fast and Furious loves to do. I was impressed with. Like I thought they did a good job with that. I thought they figured out a way of like, we need to go bigger than the last movie, and they did that. I mean, we know the penultimate stunt at the end. They showed it in the last trailer. I was so looking forward to that shit, and it did not disappoint me in one little bit. So I thoroughly just enjoyed the acting. I thought the comedy was good, other than Jason. Now I can't even say. I was about to say Mimosa. Momoa, other than him trying to insert his comedy, I thought the comedy was pretty good, but I really, really enjoyed the action, so that's why I gave it an A+. Thoughts?
Again, it was good. It was the best part of the movie easily, but I have seen less believable. I have seen more believable shit in a Marvel movie than some of the stuff that I saw in this movie. Again, I can only suspend so much disbelief before I'm just like, okay, this is just plot armor, like blatant plot armor that I just can't even get past. So like, yes, for the most part, it was fun, visually very appealing, but just don't expect a grain of realism or anything that even resembles it.
Facts.
Right there. And y'all know I'm a car guy. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, 95% of the shit that they do with them fucking cars is virtually fucking impossible. I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
I don't even know anything about cars, but like physically, like just the laws of physics and gravity, like that they defy in these movies.
Nope.
And did you catch how they like kind of called themselves out on it?
I appreciated
what
that.
is it? What is it that he said? He said like, these guys have defied the laws of God and physics.
Yes,
to,
they
like,
did
do
say
something
that.
Like
Yeah, I appreciated that because
did.
they were like, and he was just like, and they do it again and again and again. I was like, yeah, they do. So it was like the movie, honestly,
It's like they
being
know it's
self-aware.
fucking ridiculous.
They even did, and they did that in 9 for what it's worth too. Like Tyrese had a couple lines in 9 where he was like, yo, like we like, how do we not die like doing all of this shit? So I do like how these movies have become a little bit self-aware. Again, it's all fun. Like I don't think Vin Diesel is sitting down like working with these directors and these writers and like, yeah, like we're gonna have like the best movie of the year. Like they're here for the fucking action. Like that's what they're here for. So I think overall they did a pretty good job with that. All right, so overall grade for the movie, I gotta give it an A+. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
Hey, boy,
I'm just kidding. Just joking. Just joshing you.
Josh.
No, I give it a solid C. Right smack dab in the middle. I think there are some things about it that are absolutely bad, but it also has some good things. And I think it's fitting to kind of give it a grade overall in the middle. It has bright spots, especially especially when you think about it from the perspective of it's a high octane action movie with fucking cars. So, you know, overall, I think C plus. I'm interested, or excuse me, not C plus, C. I'm interested to hear you guys' overall grades.
D.
D, okay.
I'm. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry. I keep doing that to you.
I was just gonna say the cars are awesome. That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, I look at it just because it's like, man, that car is badass. That car is badass. Then when they start doing shit with them and just fucking destroying them and all this shit, that makes me fucking cringe. And I don't like cringeful acting. And I feel like Jason Momoa's character was like so cringy. I feel like he was such a cringy villain to the point where it was like every time he showed his face on screen, I'm like, ugh, there goes this motherfucker again. Like,
Yeah.
he was not likable. But it wasn't the fact that he wasn't likable because he was playing a good villain. He was unlikable because he was cringy. So.
Yeah. It was like, you know how like, you know how like some villains, like when they show up, like the moments are so tense and it makes you really feel for the characters. Like I didn't feel for them like at all, because he was just like, I'm just like, how are y'all letting this goofball like get over on y'all? Like it's ridiculous. Like so yeah, I understand. Nick, what's your overall grade?
I would go with a C minus.
Okay.
I'm pretty much with you, Justin, but it was just if it's to the point where like the bright spots start to get boring for me. Like at one point I was literally like, after that racing scene, I was just Googling what 70s Datsun 280Zs go for nowadays, because like, oh shit, like that could be a fun project. Like, I was just sitting there on my phone
and it was
Googling,
RB
like,
swap, dog.
in the middle of the movie. But overall fun. I think they're doing a decent job of tying up the series. I don't know. I can't say I'm particularly excited for the next one, but I'll still go see it.
I am. I'm excited for the next one.
You got to finish it.
Yeah, I think,
exactly.
I think a D is, to me, a D is a little harsh, because like, did I enjoy the movie? Yes. Would I say it's a good movie? No. So like, I have a hard time giving a movie a D if I actually enjoyed it. So, but you know, that's why we all have our different opinions. What's interesting is, so Rotten Tomatoes, as of today, 54% critic review. No surprise there. 86% user score. I was very surprised by that. I thought, you know, general audience, I thought would be a little lower. But actually it's getting reviewed relatively well by, you know, the general audience. And the consensus is it's a bad, good movie that has some good action, and it's a fun ride. That's what like a lot of people are saying. So I think most people go into it not expecting too much. Again, my expectations were exactly where they needed to be. So I thoroughly enjoyed watching this movie. There wasn't a single moment where I was like, this is so bad, like I feel like I need to walk out of it. But again, my expectations were not that high for certain areas to begin with. Like I did not expect the acting to blow me away. I did expect the action sequences to blow me away, and they did. So you know, I was impressed with that.
Fair. I won't disagree with any of that.
No. Right.
And yeah, I'm committed
Fun
at this
fact.
point. I got to see the end. Now, is there going to be
You have to.
2 more or 1 more?
2 more technically, but you know, I feel like they could make 5 more, honestly. Like this shit never ends, bro. This is Hollywood.
The
like,
Sin trilogy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Vin Diesel's already said he's talking about like multiple different spinoffs already. We know we got a Hobbs and Shaw. I think we're going to get a second Hobbs and Shaw. I hope so, because Hobbs and Shaw was actually really good. Like, I really enjoyed the first movie.
I fucking love Hobbs and Shaw, dude. That movie was so much fun.
It was. I need to go back and watch it again because I haven't seen it in a while. So, but yeah. So we'll see. We got 2 more at least of this storyline, and they got quite a bit to tie up. There were definitely some surprises that came up. Some people coming back from the dead, like they always do, bro. Like I said, they're like comic book characters at this point. They never really die. Like you can see them blow up in a fiery crash, and it's like, nope, they're still alive. They're absolutely still alive. So more to come. What? Oh, Econer. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Econer said, where does this movie rank in order for y'all? That's a good question. 5, 6, and 7 are clearly the best. Like I don't think there's any argument there. I feel like that was like their prime, where they were like, we know we're no longer car racing movies. We are now like heist and ridiculous stunt movies. And I think they did 5, 6, and 7 very well. So those are the top 3 for me. and then I gotta go like 1, 2, and 3, because they're like the originals. Too Fast and Too Furious is one of my favorites, just because it was the introduction of Tyrese's character. It was hilarious. 4, 4 is just like a transition movie to me. It's like a, hey, we're transitioning you into like the ridiculousness that's gonna be these movies. So I think I would put 10 after that, and then 8 and 9 come dead last for me, because they were just like really, really bad.
I would actually agree 100% with all that.
Wait,
Except
4 was the safe heist.
No,
right?
that's 5. 4 was
even remember
4
4.
was
What was
Mexico. 4 was Mexico, where they were driving through the tunnels. 4 was the soft reboot. So original that was because, and it was very confusing because Brian had like went back to the FBI, but then he like went rogue again to like save Dom. So it was like really weird, but they originally had said they were rebooting the series. Then they backtracked and said it was a soft reboot, and that introduced you to Fast 5, which is where they did the vault heist.
that was when it just like went off the rails.
Yeah, exactly. And then they've been doing it bigger ever since. So yeah, so I
would
consider
definitely
4
put Tokyo
transition
Drift
movie.
in the top 3 though.
Tokyo. So I would say 3, 1, 5, 2.
You think Tokyo
4,
Drift is
and
the
then-
best movie objectively?
Yeah. Well, again, you gotta look at you literally. So if we're breaking it down, probably not. But if we're talking about,
I feel like that's a personal favorite for you, but objectively, it's not the best one out of all. Like you can't.
ain't that what the fuck we're talking about? Because
No.
he literally just asked, "Where does this movie rank in the order for y'all?" And
Or are we talking
I'm giving you
object-
my ranking.
Are we talking objectively, or are we talking personally though? That's what I'm asking.
You tell me, motherfucker, because I gave you a fucking rank, a fucking list, and all of a sudden it was a wrong list.
Well,
apparently,
I did objectively, like which ones were like objectively like the best movies. Like
Oh.
I didn't like
Okay,
I
okay,
my
okay,
favorite like
alright.
I was
2
doing personally.
because 2 would be my favorite. Like right, like that's my favorite of all of them because I just really enjoy
Yeah.
2. But objectively, it's not the best movie. Like I'm not gonna say it's like the number 1 out of all of those. So, but give your personal list.
objectively, then.
Well, go ahead.
Now I'm curious. Objectively, what is your favorite movie?
Objectively, what is my favorite movie? I just told you 2. Too Fast, Too Furious is my favorite one.
I thought you said objectively was like.
You said objectively, what is
So-
my favorite? Like not
No,
objectively.
you said no, yeah, but I thought you said bitch. 2 is your personal favorite, right?
Yes, 2 is my personal favorite. Objectively, the best movie is 5, in my opinion.
Yes, I would agree with you. 5 is
Best?
objectively the best.
Yes, 5 was the
best?
5 was the
Yes,
peak
100%.
because 5 was when they introduced you to this crazy shit. But I feel like it was still a little grounded, and then from there they just got more and more ridiculous. So I feel like
Exactly.
5 objectively is the best movie overall. Personally, that's how I feel.
Yep. Personally,
I
I give you
think-
that. I will give you that.
I place a lot of importance personally on the OG.
Okay.
Like
I can't argue
One?
with you on that. Yeah,
and
one.
now, like 1 and 2 are tied for me because 2 was the first one I saw, and like you said, they introduced Tyrese. 2 was a lot of fun. It's like 1 and 2 are tied for first place for me, and then 3 is in third, and then 5, and God, I don't even can't even keep up with that. Like, but this one's like pretty far down on the list, I gotta say.
I saw a side note here. I saw a meme that came out after Fast X, and it was talking about, do you realize that in the first Fast and Furious movie, the big heist was they were still in VCRs and DVD player?
Dog.
That just goes to show how
Going
long
for premium, dog.
that movie
Now
goes-
they're still in XR26B,
driving them
Neutron
out of
bombs.
fucking skyscrapers in Dubai. Which one was that?
Oh
that
my
was
God, I forgot
was
about
it
that.
7?
That was 7.
Dude,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yep. Where they get the
that-
Lycan Hypersport in Abu Dhabi.
that hands down is probably my favorite action sequence of the series. My man was so confident driving this fucking car, jumping from sky. He didn't do it once, he did it twice. No, that shit was insane, bro. It was insane.
Cars don't fly, Dom.
That's a good point. Like, what's our favorite stunt? Okay, so yours is this skyscraper jump, which
Absolutely.
I honestly can't fault you for. My favorite is when they are stealing a nuclear submarine and they are
Okay.
all driving on the ice in the Antarctic, and there is a nuclear tipped torpedo skittering on the ice next to one of their cars, just skittering on there. So they drive up next to the torpedo in a car and open a door and kick the torpedo.
No, it was The Rock, and he didn't kick it. He used his hand and turned the bitch around. Like, if I remember correctly, that was 8, which, like, unfortunately, 8 was like a bad movie overall. But yes,
Yeah.
I do know that scene, and that was fucking insane.
He's just like,
Ryan, what's your favorite action sequence out of all of them?
Definitely when they steal the safe.
Safe,
Definitely.
yeah.
And the only reason I'm gonna tell you why. Because first of all, they use 2 SRT8 chargers, and those 372s are not that strong. I'm just letting you know right now. Like,
no
they're what,
car is that
426
strong.
horses?
What cable? What cable is that strong? What cable is that strong?
Think of it this way, and hear me out.
Okay.
If you use 2 Dodge Demons
No.
of 2023, yes. Oh God,
No.
yes. God,
No.
yes.
No.
There's not enough friction on the wheels. The tires are just gonna spin. Don't get me started. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, okay,
I'm
not
trying to
even-
shit on you.
not
No,
even-
you're fine.
not even-
Then you have to naturally think about they're going to mod them, so they're going to make them all-wheel drive,
I-
and you have all
It's-
that. I'm
you're
telling
not
you.
gonna
I'm telling
convince
you.
me. You're not
Okay,
gonna
okay,
convince
all
me.
right, okay.
Forget the cars. Where the fuck did they get the wire that's going through buildings and not like
You know what? You're
like
exactly
and
right.
not
Didn't
like
even think about
breaking
that.
or like locking shit up? Like, that was what was insane to
Level
me. I was
12
like,
fucking Teflon
like,
wires
did these
and shit.
wires come from like the future? Like, what the fuck? Like, that shit was insane.
Vibranium, motherfucker?
They make them in the same plant that they make fucking Vin Diesel's denim out of, which is apparently the most moisture-wicking cloth on the face of the earth. This man climbed straight out of a river in a denim cutoff and his bone dry.
There was no water on him or his shirt. There was no water to be found.
His son was drenched though, dog. That shit was.
Honorable mentions, not necessarily an action sequence, but when my man The Rock pulls a stone slab out of the wall and starts bicep curling it. That was pretty fucking awesome. And then when my man Dom defies physics in 7, when they were on the highway going up against a tank, and Letty gets thrown out of her car, and my man uses his car, hits the side of the railing, angles that shit perfectly so he can fly out of his car, catch her in midair, and then land on top of another car to save her life. That was like fucking insane to me. Those are some honorable mentions for action sequences in these movies.
One that always sticks out to me, and I think this was 7 as well, is they are driving through a city, and they're like they're like it's a car chase, and they get caught up in like an intersection, and I think it's Dom needs to get out of his car, or it might be The Rock, and he just, instead of just opening the car door, he just shoulders bashes the car door, and it goes flying off.
That was
and hinges
8.
across the
That was
intersection.
8, and that was when they thought he was bad and they were trying to capture him, and they used the same fucking tension cables apparently to like spear his door and like lock him in place. So he just like shoulder bashes the door off the fucking hinges to get out. I remember that shit too. That was insane. They've had some of the most ridiculous like action sequences, but I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for this shit any day of the week.
They're always good for a laugh. That's for sure. Because
for
we
sure.
laughed a lot watching this movie.
A lot.
That fucking movie, dog.
Just laughed at how
Wasn't even
purely
funny.
ridiculous this shit was. Good stuff. I know we probably got some stuff in the chat. We're a little bit over time, but we'll look at the chat and then we'll call it.
Not that much, actually. Beast Boy asked how many for families. I felt like they kind of caught on to that, and they only threw it out like once or twice in this.
Yeah.
There were times I expected him to say it, and he would say like, the people I care about, or something like that. Like,
right, some shit. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, dude.
My car.
Yeah. E. Connor said the wire came from Batman. Yeah, pretty much. Probably came
Facts.
from. Dude, what if this was in the same universe as Batman?
Okay,
What if this
speaking
was
of
in the DC universe?
speaking of which, I saw a post where people were talking about what should Fast and Furious like crossover with, like cross universes. And if they don't cross universes with Transformers, I'm gonna be disappointed. Imagine a Fast and Furious Transformers movie and how fucking wild that would be. Because there's nobody better to drive a fucking transforming car than Vin Diesel himself.
Yeah, and Dom Toretto.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
they
I
should
would go to that.
absolutely cross over with Transformers, bro. I don't even need a
love it.
story. Just they could literally be in the cars the entire time, just driving.
Speaking of which, they are making another Transformers, and
They are.
spoiler alert, it's not their war again.
I am excited for the new Transformers movie, but I am gonna keep my expectations exactly where they need to be because the last few have been absolutely fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I need to watch them before we go see it. Just saying.
Yeah.
Do you?
You don't. You don't waste
Do
your
you?
time.
Okay.
Do you
I mean,
really?
watch 1, 2, and 3 for sure because I love 1. Well, I love 1 and 3. 2, yeah, but you know. Anyways, but
Shia
everything.
LaBeouf?
Yeah, the Shia LaBeouf ones are fantastic. Like 1 and 3, really, really good. 4 and 5 and maybe 6, because this is either the 7th one or the 6th one. When Mark Wahlberg gets introduced, none of those movies have been good. They've been absolutely trash.
So wait, which one is the one where Optimus gets like the Excalibur or some shit? Like, which one is that?
That's 5 or 6. The Last Night. That one was not good. Yeah, trash.
That's all
Cool.
I got. I can't.
All right.
I can't talk any more shit about this movie.
Dude, it was a great movie, man.
Go see it. Go see it. It's
enjoy
fun.
Yeah.
Just keep
It's a
your
fun movie.
expectations right, and you'll have a good time.
Expect
Just going
yeah,
like
sure.
you go into a superhero movie.
Expect that you're going to see a Fast and Furious movie. If you keep your
Yeah.
expectations there, you should be good.
Right.
All right.
Badass cars though. Badass
Yeah.
cars.
Let's talk about the fact. One last thing we'll mention before we call it, but let's talk about the fact that no matter where in the world these people are, they always find their favorite car that is like perfectly modified to like their specification.
To a T, bro.
This man Dom has a Dodge Charger in every country in the world, and no matter where he is, he's gonna find it and it's gonna be right there for him. So.
I made this joke in the movie, and I'm going to make it again here on stream. That man has single-handedly reduced the supply of Dodge Chargers in the world to the point where they are
saying,
probably like so fucking rare. He's just destroyed so many, and they're always in planes. Even when like the fucking agency people weren't, they were hunting the Fast and Furious crew, and they had cars in their planes, like sports cars. And
They had his car in their plane. The car that he
They
knew
had Dom 70's Charger in that fucking plane.
Yeah.
But how do they do it? Man, we just know this motherfucker gonna hijack this plane and take his car back. Like,
I
we already
think,
know.
somebody was like, you know what? Everybody that's been against this man, he has turned into a part of the family. So it's probably inevitable that it's going to happen for us. We might as well be prepared. Like, so.
Get his
the
car.
car's one weakness. He literally tells you,
Yeah.
you didn't take my car.
Exactly.
Take his car away.
Don't let him get in the
Take
fucking
away
car.
from
I don't chop off his hands so he can't steer a wheel. I don't know. Do something. Stop letting this damn dude get in the fucking car. Okay? He's going to win every time. It does not matter. Oh, man.
He took down not one but 2 helicopters with his one car.
With one car.
With one of his fucking cars.
At the same time.
His
I
car
might
has a
add.
respawn button. Like, how
Yeah,
the fuck, bro?
it absolutely does. It absolutely. You know what? His car probably already is a transformer, and they just haven't shown us yet. That's the only thing that would make fucking sense with the amount of abuse this guy puts that shit through, and they're still drivable. Remember when he smacked the fucking side of a wall, going who knows how fast, and it just falls, lands perfectly, and he just drives away like
Fine.
normal. It's fine.
It's fine.
Struts would have been
No, he
blown.
drove off a bridge, hit the backside of the crane for the crane arm to swing around and knock the bomb off.
First of
And
all,
then it hit, and then the crane kept swinging and hit him off the whatever he was on at that point to get away from the bomb.
I'm pretty sure my man's did not graduate high school. Like, he is not that good at physics, okay? Like, the amount of precise calculations it would take for that shit to actually happen, insane. Go see the movie. You'll know exactly what we're talking about. But overall, we had a good time. We always have a good time going to see movies together. So I think, we're not going to have a show next week. That's a reminder, Memorial Day. We won't have a show. But I think the next show we'll be bringing to you, we should be either going to see Spider-Man before that or Transformers. I can't remember which one drops first, but we're going to check both of those out, and we'll bring the reviews to you here first on your favorite show. Spoiler alert. So don't forget to hit that follow button on Twitch. Subscribe if you don't want to watch those ads. Also follow us on Twitter and YouTube at Spoiler Alert for You. Again, that's at Spoiler Alert, the number 4, the letter U. If we spoiled something for you, sorry, not sorry, because we are just talking about the things we love. And here's a spoiler alert for you. We do love all of you, and we will see you next week.